Hello, this is Miss Lumley. Welcome to the video that will include problems from our quadratic functions test review. Today we're starting with our next problem, which is number 36. Okay, so the base of the triangle is 3 feet longer than the height. Okay, so what I do is I look at this and I go, okay, so I've got the height of the triangle, which I don't know what it is, but I know I can use h, and they're telling me that the base is 3 feet longer than the height. So I can use h for the height and h plus 3 for the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what is the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. So at this point, I know what most of you are probably thinking, say, okay, how do I really work this problem, okay? And knowing that it's a quadratic, how do I solve it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 20 square feet in for A, okay? And the base is h plus 3, so I'm going to write h plus 3. I'm going to multiply that times the height, which is just h. I'm going to put that h in the front. That looks better right there instead of on the other side. And you know what? I'm going to take this 2, I'm going to put it on the bottom like that because that's the 1/2 part. Okay, so now we're also looking at it going, what do I need to do now? Because this looks very different from what I'm used to when I solve a quadratic equation. But the 2 is bothering me, and I want to get rid of the 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over on the other side. So I'm going to multiply it over on the other side with the 20. So let's write this out. So we've got h times h plus 3 equals 40. So now I've switched things around, and all I have to do is distribute the h and h to the h plus 3. So I'm going to go h squared plus 3h equals 40. Okay, so I'm almost there. I can see where my quadratic equation is starting to appear. And all I need to do is subtract the 40 on the other side so that it's equal to 0. Because when you solve this, you're going to want it equal to 0 so that you can factor it. Because we are going to be able to factor this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and factor it. So I'll put the x's in the front, and let me think here. The factors of 40 that'll make 3 have got to be 8 and 5. I think I'm going to have to subtract the 5 because 8 minus 5 will make a positive 3, and I want a positive 3. So let's put plus 8 minus 5. And now let's solve. X equals negative 8, and x equals 5. Okay, so now I'm looking at it saying, okay, they want me to find the base and the height. And you cannot use a negative number for measurement. So we're going to use x equal 5. Okay, so x equal 5 will be my height. And if I take 5 and plug it in, 5 plus 3, that'll give you 8. That's going to be your base right there. Okay, so height is equal to 5, base is equal to 8 is your final answer. Okay, let's try the next problem. Okay, so these are the problems where we have to solve them, and then we need to find out what the inequality answer would be. So let's go ahead, and all these problems are going to be factorable. So let's go ahead and factor. Okay, so we get x plus 5 and x plus 1. Okay, so remember that I'm going to go ahead and solve it like I normally would. X equals negative 5, and x equals negative 1. Now I need to figure out, okay, if it's supposed to be going, let's see, this is an equal to, so I need to figure out whether it's going, whether the arrows are going left, right, or in between. So I need to figure out if this is an and or an or inequality. So if I plug in, let's try plugging in 0. 0 is an easy one, and 0 is over here on the other side. So watch this. If you plug in 0 right here, this is 0. If you go into the original equation, okay, 0 plus 0 plus 5, okay? So I'm just doing 0 squared is 0, plus 6 times 0 is 0, plus 5. So 5 is greater than 0. Is 5 greater than 0 a true statement? Yes. That means this arrow is going this way. Okay, so let's try it again. Let's make sure that negative 6 works. So negative 6 squared is 36, but negative 6 times 6 is negative 36. So that's 36 minus 36 plus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, that's a true statement. Okay, so now I know that this is an or. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to say negative 5, and this is an equal to, so I'm going to use a bracket, to negative infinity, because I'm going to put this in interval notation, okay? And then I'm going to, this is an or, and then it's going to be negative 1. So we're going to go bracket, negative 1, comma, infinity. Okay? And that is your final answer for that one. Okay, so let's try number 38. 38 is, let's go ahead and factor it, x, and we're going to go plus 5 minus 2, because that'll make your negative 10, and 5 minus 2 makes the positive 3x in the middle. So let's solve. X equals negative 5, and x equals 2. Okay, so this is another one where I can try 0. So we're going to go negative 5 is here, and 2 is here. So let's check 0, okay? So 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 10. So is negative 10, 0 plus 0 plus a negative 10. So is negative 10 less than 0? Yes, that is true. So that means that this is going like this in between. Okay, sorry, my line is not straight, but that's okay. All right, so we know now that this is, we're going from negative 5 to 2 is the interval notation, because we just need to be between negative 5 and 2, but it's not equal to. So if it's not equal to, we don't use brackets, we use parentheses. Okay, and so this is actually our final answer right here. Okay, let's do it one more time. So we have we have to factor this one. So we're going to go x minus 4 and x plus 4. So we're going to solve. X equals 4 on this one. X equals negative 4 on this one. Okay. And then I'm going to check 0 again. So I'm going to put my arrows in here. Here's 4. No, excuse me. Here's negative 4 and 4. Okay. So let's check 0. We're going to put in the original equation. 0 squared minus 16 is negative 16. Is that a true statement? Negative 16 greater than 0? No, that's not true. So these arrows have to be going this way. Okay. So, and I can check that. Let's just do a check real quick. Check 5. So 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 16 is 9. Is 9 greater than 0? Yes, it is. So the outside does work. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write, okay, this is going to be negative 4 to negative infinity. This is a parentheses because it's infinity, and this is a parentheses because it's not an equal to. This one's going to be 4 to infinity, and this is an or. In some cases, in some classes, you'll also use the union sign for an or. So we haven't really gone over that. That's not part of our class, but if you use that, it would not be wrong. Okay, so all right, that's our final answer on number 39. Okay, let's try the next problem. Okay. All right, so the next problem, I'm going to go ahead and just write these out. The next problem is to do the substitution where we have a system of equations, and so we're going to do number 40 here. Okay, so 40 is where you have a system of equations. Okay, one is y equals x squared minus x minus 18. Okay, and the other equation is y equals 2x plus 10. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since they're both y equals, I can set them equal to each other because both expressions are equal to y. So if they're equal to the same thing, then I can set them equal to each other. And then I can solve. So I'm going to subtract the 2x over here, and I'm going to subtract the 10 over here, and I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 28 equals 0. Okay, now I have to factor, and that's going to give me x, let's do minus 7x plus 4, right? Because, let's see, negative 7 and 4 make negative 28, and then adding 7x and 4x gives me negative 3x. So my answers are x equals 7 and x equal negative 4. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to plug these back in order to find y. Okay, so my final answer is going to be 2 points. Remember, this is a system of equations, and I need to figure out where the parabola and the line are intersecting. Notice that this is a parabola and this is a linear equation, so it's a line. I want to find out where they're intersecting. At this point, I can tell they're intersecting in 2 places, but I need to solve for y. So I'm going to do it 2 times. So I'm going to take the 2x plus 10, because that's actually the easiest equation, and I'm going to plug in the 7 first, and that's going to give me 14, and 14 plus 10 is going to be 24. So it's going to cross at 7, 24, and then I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to go y equals 2 times negative 4 plus 10. And that's going to give me a negative 8, and negative 8 plus 10 is going to be 2. So this one's going to cross at negative 4, 2. Okay, now that I've found where they cross, that is my final answer. So don't forget to take your x's, plug them back in, and find the y part of the point. Okay, so let's do number 41. Okay, so we have 41 right here. Okay, so for 41, we have, again, it's a system of equations, so we're going to go y equals x squared minus 7x minus 6. Okay, and then y equals 8 minus 2x. Okay, so what we want to do is, again, they're both equal to each other because they're both equal to y, and y being the same point or the same number or the same letter, they can be set equal to each other. So x squared minus 7x minus 6 will equal 8 minus 2x. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and solve that. So let's add the 2x over. Okay. And let's subtract the 8. Okay, so I've got x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Okay, so we need a factor. Okay, so that's going to make x minus 7 and x plus 2. Because negative 7 and 2 make negative 14, and if I add negative 7x plus 2x, that'll give me negative 5x. So that's x equals 7 and x equal negative 2. Okay, so again, I am not quite done. I have to go plug them in. So at this point, I know my intersection points are going to be 7 comma something and negative 2 comma something. So I need to go plug them in. So I'm going to use the y equals negative 2x because that's the easiest one to go do over here. I'm going to plug 7 in first. So that's y equals 8 minus 14, which will give me negative 6. And then if I do it again, y equals 8 minus 2 times, it's a negative 2. A negative is going to make a positive, so that's really 8 plus 4, which will give me 12. Okay, and that is my final answer. Well, that's it for the test review. If you have any questions, please ask me, and check out the other videos for this test review, and thank you for watching.